Hey, this is Ralphie from kiwiradio.nz. I'm going to do a quick run through of how I made my latest song. This song is for you. It's a little ditty I made over the weekend, and I've literally just woken up the following morning to blog this process because I think, like, over the years, probably 20 plus years that I've been making music, I've always made an effort to show up every 5 minutes, even if it's a couple of minutes. Sometimes I don't have much time, or sometimes I do have a lot of time. Sometimes I make sure that I have a couple of hours to myself to tinker around and make music. And over the years, I've just realized that I'm becoming faster and faster in the art, in the process, and using the tools that I currently have, and not try and get to analysis paralysis, and actually celebrate the imperfections. There's a couple of things in this record that I wanted to change, like a couple of plugins I wanted to try out, especially Vocal Align to get that pop sound. I tried the new Waves plugin and I tried the Vocaline plugin, but I couldn't get my head around the ARA system because it's not like a normal VST. And I wanted to align vocals. And I've been in sessions before where literally that's like a 2-hour process in itself to try and get that fat, thick chorus. And I actually wanted to layer a few more harmonies and things like that. But I was like, do I want to spend another 2 hours? So I didn't go down that route. I just kind of kept the vocals simple. But anyway, this is how it all started. I was actually listening with one earpiece like this. And often, sometimes I'll just listen to the radio. And I've heard other artists do this as well, and it's to try and not so much mimic what I'm listening to, but I might hear like a certain lick or a series of notes or a chord progression or an arpeggio that inspires me to do something else. And that's exactly what happens. So a lot of the time when I'm in other parts of the room, like when my family's having dinner or watching television, I'll just bring this little machine here, Machine Plus, as a scratch pad, and that's exactly what happened. So I was starting, this is my scratch sheet, I'll play it to you right now actually. So it's not really developed, but I literally just picked up a, so that arpeggio is like really predominant in the song. And those 4 notes I just heard in like a lick or a run as I was listening to the radio. And I was like, I really like that like sort of lick. And I kind of turned it into a quarter note art thing, stabby thing. And that's kind of what I came up with. And obviously I just used one of the kits here, the built-in kits. And again, this one here, this kind of drum beat was lifted off an existing breakbeat song, actually. And it's a really common breakbeat. But later I turned the song into Futurebass, but the inspiration came from a breaks song. And just added some simple bass, even some electric stuff, and I think I added some extra hi-hat thing. So that was the scratch there. So what I did with that scratch then is the arrangement takes the longest part, and I spent the weekend arranging and coming up with synth lines and basically nutting out the song. And so that part itself, over the years, how I've gotten quick is really using existing templates or patches that I know I'm going to like, especially if it's genre specific. I have my go-tos, such as, like I'll use Avenger, one of my favorite plugins, and just all sorts of soft synths. I do sometimes use hardware. In this case, I've been using my Juno stage quite a bit into a looper, and I'll use those as scratch, and sometimes it comes out as the finished product. But really, that's how I did that, and so the arrangement took the longest part. And then now I also did a vocal scratch. So the vocal scratch is very, very raw, and I'll play it to you right now as well. Let's see if I can bring it up. This song. It's not there. Might have to edit this part as I find it. So basically, I did a couple of... The sessions came down into like 4 stages, if you know what I mean. So, oh, and this was the... That's the scratch there to kind of establish the door session. What I like using a lot is a software called Decoder, because that, especially if I'm looping raw or whatever, it tells me the key signature and the BPM, and I can start really layering that way. And so... yeah, so I recorded some vocal takes, and I remember I kind of was, lyric-wise, I was kind of pulling things out of existing lyrics. I often have a notepad with songs I like, lyrics I like, and then I'll just, I don't know, it just comes naturally over the years. Like I was watching a video saying, you know, as arrangers or musicians or composers, we are often complicate things to try and impress our listeners, but there was something that stuck with me while watching this YouTuber of some sort saying that keeping it simple is best, and I felt like this song is just really simple and really focuses on 1 or 2 elements. And yeah, the arranger was saying stuff like, you know, reintroduce certain elements later on in section B or whatever, and that's what I did. But it really, if you listen to the song, it's really simple. Lyric-wise, I was just pulling all sorts of things. I mean, I've been doing covers for many, many years, and so I know all the popular songs. And, you know, one of the lyrics that says, "In this thing called love, this song is for you," I was kind of half thinking Ed Sheeran, but also I was thinking Queen, Crazy Little Thing Called Love, you know. So the thing about lyric writing is it's very personal, but it's also trying to find new ways to come up with the same thing over and over again. So it is a love song. It's really, really simple, and I just wanted it to be fun. And even the lyrics, when the moon and the stars, I literally had another song I just recently that was talking about moon and stars, and so I just rehashed the same thing, not try to overcomplicate things. Don't get me wrong, sometimes when I'm deep in a session and I can afford a couple of hours, that's when I start to think progressive and like Bob Dylan lyrics, you know, something that's just really obscure. Using words that don't normally go in songs, that kind of thing. But in this one, it's really straightforward. There's that typical formula of meeting a girl and falling in love at first sight on the dance floor. That's kind of what I was thinking when I wrote the song, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope this video wasn't too technical and everything, but I did get one comment on my socials. Now, the thing I do about music is I do it from a sort of data analyst kind of background, where there's a thing that we do in that field where we do A/B testing. So I'll give you an example. You know, social media did this where they came out and beta tested 2 different like buttons to see which had the most engagement. And what you'll notice when I'm posting on social media is I'm posting a lot because I'm writing a lot of songs, I don't quite remember or figure out what people actually like. And so based on engagement, that's when I decide to either keep it as a secret track on my Bandcamp, which you can follow on the link below. So secret tracks can be found also on the kiwiradio.nz portal. I just dump all sorts of ideas in there. And or do I kind of push it a bit more maybe even make a homemade music video. I'm not sure I'm going to do it yet with this song, but I've got a little green screen, which I did with a previous song, and because production-wise, video is time-consuming as well. A lot of the time, I'm just using clip art and existing footage. Again, it's because it's testing out what's actually going to land. For example, I kind of sampled an artist called Debleu. I can't remember his name. He's a French artist, but he's on my YouTube channel, and that song got like 6,000 views in one 24-hour sitting, and I think it's because he's got an existing fan base. He's really cool, by the way, Debleu, and he's kind of very Daft Punky. But again, that song didn't take long, maybe a whole weekend again, and that's what I've learned is to kind of, same with this song, I wish I kind of did something different with the vocals. A lot of the time, here's another story about this song. I ran out of time recording my vocal take. So you'll notice verse 1 and 2, verse 1 is predominantly me, and also chorus was me as well. And then because I was thinking Ed Sheeran, I actually used a voice modeler for verse 2. It is still me singing, but voice modelers, what they do is they change the timbre. So it's like plugging an electric guitar and choosing different tones. It will change the timbre slightly so that the performance and the voice sounds like a different person. That's kind of what I wanted. I kind of wanted a duet. Originally, I wanted to write this as like a Ed Sheeran song, what's his name? And so I tried to find the best voice modeler that came up with that kind of vibe. So it is still me, but changed with voice modeling. And that's really cool. In 2025, you've got technologies that do that. And something that I wouldn't have had as a tool 5 years ago. But yeah, so what happened is I was recording late through till about 2 in the morning, and I tried to re-record the vocals again, like especially for verse 2 the following morning. But even the changes of the room or the atmosphere or the temperature of the room can change the sound of the microphone. Even slightly moving the microphone can change the sound of the tone. And I just remember thinking, you know what, I actually like this voice modeler, even though it's a little bit artificial. I'm just going to keep it. And so that's what happened. The song comes up with me at the start, and I've heavily processed it so that it's kind of got that little bit of T-Pain element with the pitch correction. And again, I could have made it sound natural. A lot of my songs, especially, it depends on the genre. So if it's rock or something I'm working on, I want it to be as natural as possible. Or maybe if I'm doing a ballad, I don't use any pitch correction. But this one is like a fun, dancey pop thing. And it seems to be that even a lot of my favorite pop artists like Charlie Puth, he would actually record his own vocal to sort of around the middle C section and pitch it up artificially to an octave higher. And I saw him do that in a studio, in a song rundown. And that kind of thing, I think regardless of what we do, creatively, it's just anything goes. So do I want to use an old school locomotion train, or do I want to use whatever the latest technology is and pump it out that way? And in this particular song, I did a bit of a hybrid, and I hope you enjoy it. As you can see, my studio is still kind of in its creative element with chords running around and stuff like that. But that's kind of what I wanted to talk about is when pushing out music. I know it's not perfect, but I've learned to celebrate imperfections. And there are times as well where I'll revisit a song even a year later or 2 years later, maybe it's gained some traction, and I'll just, I'll just remaster it or reimagine it into a different genre or whatever else I feel like doing that day. I guess the moral of the story for any creatives listening here is just to spend a couple of minutes at your craft, and you'll get faster, and you'll be more productive. There may be some days where you might have writer's block, which I do too, but it could be just listening, like I did now, listening to a piece of radio and reigniting the muse, and maybe learning the technology behind it. Like I was talking about the VST, I wanted to learn more about the ARA system that some of the plugins have come out with, and I just can't get my head around it because I don't know how to sync the primary stem to dub, and I don't know. I'll have to figure it out at some point. Much like this machine, you know, I didn't figure it out to start with, but now I have. Anyways, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and thanks for going through this basic rundown. You can find the tune now on Bandcamp. This song is For You by Ralphe, and I hope you enjoyed it. Cheers.
In the shadow there's a restless soul. I keep on digging till I lose control. All is this heart's beating out of the blue. Both on the floor, dedicated